Hi everyone, thanks for joining me today. This is part 6 of my coloring book collection and finished pages. I'm lumping these books into my grayscale category. Not all are true grayscale. Some might have some light shading and some more of a sketchy style of line art, creating shadow effects. So just different than your basic line art style. Alright, so let me get these over to the side. And I am going to start with this one. This is Colin Thompson's, and I believe it translates into Fantastic Book. I purchased this book and the Ink House after watching some of Zucchini Kitty's videos and Dee Dee Willingham, and got me into the hunt for different and unusual coloring books, and ones that I can use more with like water mediums and distress inks. So I'm calling this one more of a traditional grayscale because artwork started out as like a color illustration and then copied as a black and white image, so it naturally has the variations of the black and white. All right, and so here is a page that I did. I think I was influenced by some other colorist. They did more like color blocking in these little shelves. I did use some water-based, like either color pencils or watercolor with a water brush. And then I liked how some like left a few not colored or just like little hints of color inside. I do see like hints of the Dutch artist M.C. Escher in this book, like the staircase here, but yeah, there's some other pictures in here that yeah, just remind me of M.C. Escher. All right, here's another one. All these little shelves again. Same thing with the watercolors, and I may have used some distress ink as watercolors. And I think that's it. I have a few like whips that I think I was playing around with doing the water brushes. But, oh, here's one. All right, so this one I know is a tutorial from Zucchini Kitty, and she used distress inks. And I had kind of a big oops over here, a little heavy with one of the mediums. But yeah, it's really pretty, these fall colors here. Okay, that is it for that one. All right, next one is The Ink House by Rory Dobner. This is another one influenced by Zucchini Kitty. If you've watched Zucchini Kitty, you probably already know this book. I just love her work in here. I just want to copy like all her pages, do all her tutorials because they're just so great. So you can see this one just has a little bit more of a sketchy style, so it creates like more shadows and shading in here. Some of the pages do have like this blue ink in there. Let's see. I'll start in the back here. All right, here is the frog. I did do a video on this one. It's called Fixing Happy Accidents because I had several little accidents in here. So you're going to watch me kind of learn how to go through and navigate that. I used Inktense and Distress ink and a stencil. All these little splotches that look like paint splotches are actually from a Tim Holtz Distress ink stencil. And then we have this guy. It kind of gave me a like Mardi Gras vibe, or like New Orleans kind of jazzy vibe. So I went with those colors of purples, greens, and golds. Some of the colors I think I did It was influenced by Zucchini Kitty, but not all of it. I don't think all of it. So distress inks again, gel pens, and color pencils. So there are some glittery gel pens and some gold accents. All right, and then I think these were my first pages that I did, so I believe I definitely followed Zucchini Kitty's colors in here. I believe it was Distress inks, maybe some ink tints in here too. This looks like Distress ink around the edges. All right, that is it for the ink house. All right, these next group of books are going to be from Carlin Douglas with Black River art. These three are from the Little Grimm World series. And these images are like from a Shutterstock or commercial use image website. I actually found the original artist for most of these images, which I will put on the screen. So if you ever wanted to locate the original to see color reference, which I've definitely done on a few, then you can do that for yourself. All right, so this is A Little Grimm World, and I would say this one is more fantasy or fairy tale type of themed. You can see more traditional grayscale. I have seen a lot of like Alice in Wonderland themed things. I just feel like the images on here are just so unique. A little creepy, almost like Tim Burton type of style. All right, and then my go-to mediums have been an alcohol marker base for most of it, and then color pencil on top of that. Any bigger areas like the background, I like pan pastels or chalk pastels to create the base for the skin tone too, so I do a lot of that. And then just little accents, fine liners, gel pens, acrylic markers, things like that work really well. All right, same thing on this one. I thought her hair turned out really good and her deep set eyes. Yeah, isn't that creepy? This like carnivore eating plant. Oh, here's like a Mary Poppins. So yeah, some of them are really sweet and cute, and then others are this, which I love. I love how unique that is. All right, here is another Alice in Wonderland theme. Little rabbit, white rabbit sitting on a mushroom, and then you have some flamingos in the background. Reference to the cards here and the trees. Oh, so here's, see, there's no characters on these, but you get like these interesting landscape type of images. Mushrooms. And I do spray these with a fixative, especially if using the pan pastels. And I use the Karlon workable fixative. That seems to work fine. This one I just copied from the front cover. Thought her hair turned out really pretty. And also the printing, I don't know if did I talk about the printing quality? I think I did, but you get a really heavy dark areas, or you get really bright, intense white areas. This one isn't the best example, but sometimes it's hard to figure out where or what objects are, if they're like deep in the shadows or if it's like so bright and whited out. So that's when it's good to like be able to look at the reference in the color photo, because this was super blurry or just like white looking. But then when you have the color reference, you can kind of see what is supposed to be there and correct it. So, all right, that is it for A Little Grimm World. All right, this one is A Little Grimm World Halloween version. I believe this was the first one I got, and it was around Halloween, and it was just like the perfect mix of kind of cute Halloween, but then also unusual Halloween, right? Like this, and then like that. All right, and then here is what I mean by bad print quality too. You can see the lines. I was so excited when I got this book and I colored in it right away and didn't realize some of the pages had really bad printer lines, so I should have returned it, but that's right, I already colored in it. So here's this one. Again, I just colored from the front cover. And so same coloring mediums, alcohol, marker base, as you can see, and then a color pencil, shading, and pan pastel for these bigger areas. All right, this one, I really like her pink hair and the green dress. This one I have a video on, so if you wanted to see how I created this. Yeah, if you look at the video, you can see some of these details get kind of lost in the print, so trying to figure out how to get those back on there, but still kind of keep it like out of focus. Yeah, see, you have something really cute and sweet, and then you have that. Again, here's that bad line. This one's pretty. This image repeats in the Christmas one, which I'll try to find and show you, but it's like a winter scene, so that's kind of cool. All right, that is it for Halloween. Here is the Christmas one. Love the colors on here. And then look at the back cover. And then you have this like creepy skull with a nutcracker, like soldier hat on there. So I wouldn't say all of these are super Christmassy. All right, here's this one. Same thing, pan pastel I use for the face, and then color pencil shading. A lot of white Posca or gel pen in there for the snow. Oh, here's that winter landscaped one. And then this one I know I have a video on this one too. Same thing, again, the way the picture is, it looks like this is like kind of way out in the distance, or because of all the snow, you kind of get an out of focus look. So trying to keeping that intact, because if you were to go over it with like color pencil first, I think it would be too sharp and precise and you would lose that kind of out of focus look. So in the video, I kind of go over how I tackle that look. This one has some gold accents in the trims, and oh, I also have some glitter, like a white glitter in the hat and on his beard. There's the gold and the bells. Yeah, this one was a fun page. Oh, let me show you the line. Okay, so you can see the line. I did use some kind of either pan pastel in the back here, but it didn't cover it completely. Some, like if you use the alcohol markers, it lightens it or camouflages it, but you can definitely still see that it's there. Christmas tree. This one I have a lot of glittery accents on the ornaments. Yep, that's it. Like the stars and the red, like glass ornaments. All right, and then this cute little house. I love the trees on here. They look just so, like, I don't know, bubbly, poofy. Lots of snowfall in here too. So you can use the electric eraser to erase some of the chalk away, and that gives you kind of a far away snowfall, and then adding like a brighter with acrylic paint or Posca gel pens, that gives you more of an intense white, and so they look closer up, so you get more of a depth of field. Okay, that is it for that one. All right, next is Gentle Nature. Again, same Carlin Douglas, Black River Arts. This one is, I don't know if the images are from like an open stock website or not. These are more of a sketchy style, I would say, and the line art is like a gray color, so you don't get like a heavy black line. And there's, as you can see, some lighter and heavier lines that creates almost like a grayscale. All right, and then there are 50 pages in this book, but 25 images. So you get a duplicate of the image, which came in handy for this one because I think it turned out good, but I pictured it, I was really wanting like a darker skin, and it just didn't come out dark at all. So I redid it on another one, which I'll show you in a minute. So yeah, used a little bit of alcohol markers. Water-based markers I think will work fine too. Color pencils and chalk pastels. All right, love this one. I believe I do have a video on this one too. Alcohol markers, color pencils, and not sure if I used any, probably used chalk pastels for her skin tone. All right, this one, the line art, it's a little heavier. All right, so going back to that first image, and I wanted to recreate it with a darker skin and just a different color palette. So yeah, like this one too. And I believe I used, yeah, alcohol marker base for most of that. All right, that's Gentle Nature. All right, here's a little, this is called Pocket Size, Holly Jolly Christmas. They do have a regular size version of this one too. Same concept. There are 50 pages, 25 images, I believe, in here. Same thing, these probably came from a stock image, colored and then printed to black and white. A little bit different style than some of the other ones. All right, here's that one. And this one. And this one came from the back cover. But as you can see, they did it this way for the back cover, but on the page, they did it landscape. So not sure exactly why. Chalk pastels. There's some gel pen here, sparkly like yellow gel pen. And red too. It looks like I used a glitter red gel pen. And I believe that's it. I think the next one is just a practice. Yeah. All right, cute book. Like I said, if you want something bigger, they do have a bigger size. All right, next one is The Cutest Elves, Greyscale coloring book for adults by Rachel Mintz. This one was sent to me by the publishing company. These are, again, kind of Amazon printed paper. And, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the look of the elves. I wouldn't say all of them are the cutest, but my opinion. I think part of it is that they're just so zoomed in, like, and then there's a lot of like out of focus stuff. So for coloring purposes, I think it would be much better if they weren't so zoomed in on. So that's just my opinion. And then my go-to coloring mediums, the alcohol marker base, like pan pastel, wasn't working out very well. And I don't know why, because it's like the same paper. They are like, well, they do have the black background, and because they're so zoomed in, there's just a lot of like gray on here. So I don't know if the ink was messing with stuff or if it was just me and how I was coloring. I'm not sure. But yeah, you can see like the pan pastel and color pencil just didn't want to blend as nicely. So maybe if you just did like a marker base and shaded it that way, then, and you don't really need a lot of shading, obviously, because that's what's nice about the grayscale, is that you can see the shadows coming through the markers, but I usually try to enhance it, excuse me, a little bit more, and it was just not working out. So, but yeah, this one I thought was really cute with the sunflowers and the flowers back here. She's got this cute little hat on. Not sure if that is snow falling or what's going on there. Let's see. But yeah, see, they're so zoomed in. So it's just a lot of coloring space. All right, this one turned out pretty good, although I don't know what I was doing with the socks. I was trying to put some like gold like accents in there, and it wasn't working very well. I have some kind of pearl in the white here and some little shine on her freckles. But yeah, so again, I don't know if you can see on the black, but alcohol marker base, little color pencil shading, and I think that's it for that one. Yep. All right, these next ones are the Nice Little Town series by Tanya, Bogema, Stalova. And I was influenced by Elm Colors. I just love her work in these books. Some have, I would say, a light shading. Let's see if I can find some examples here. All right, so here's, oh, well, this is Nice Little Town 3, an example of that one. But there are some in here. Let's see. Of course, I'm not going to find any. Oh, okay, here's an example. So you have a basic kind of coloring book line art style, but then there are some very light shading in here. So that is why I kind of lumped it in with the Greyscale books. Okay, so here is one. I did this one this year, kind of explaining how to do this cute little bokeh background. And yeah, so kind of my basic alcohol marker or water-based marker, color pencil for shading, and chalk pastels. And then gel pen or Posca to add these extra bright white lines. All right, this is the first page I did in this book, and I was kind of discouraged because, like I said, I really loved elm colors, and they just looked so good. And then I did like a color palette. I found a color palette that I liked, and yeah, it just did not transfer well onto this page. So not my favorite, but there we go. But the images in here are really cute. I love the little houses and the mice. So that's Nice Little Town 4. Next one is Nice Little Town Halloween. Love the images on here. They're so fun. Again, kind of that cute style, but there are some like creepy looking creatures in here. All right, here's this one. Love the color palette of this one, so I've kind of decided what works best for me is making the background and the houses more on like a monochromatic, not completely monochromatic, but close in like color ranges. And then everything else is going to be really colorful, and that way, hopefully that will make all these little creatures, you know, stand out. So yeah, a little, like, I think of like Slimer from Ghostbuster leaving these trails of goo everywhere. I do have quite a bit of like glitter gel pens. So the black glitter gel pen, and oh, in the bats there's purple. Oh, that might be Stickles actually, like a purple Stickles. Yeah, it's pretty rough. So let's see. A lot of like acrylic paint too for those little dots. Yeah, super fun. Just love the characters in here. All right, and then my bat house. So same thing. I tried to keep the house and the background similar color ranges, and then make these really stand out against the house. Acrylic paint pens to get all those little hairlines, and the Stickles again for glitter and the candy. Yeah, happy the way this one turned out. I believe it was chalk pastels and then like acrylic paint to help get these little spiral in the background. Almost a Starry Night effect. All right, looking at all these fall books, I'm getting so excited for fall coloring. All right, and then we have Nice Little Town Christmas 3. All right, here's this one. This one I do have a video on too. I was inspired by a Christmas movie, so you'll have to go watch the video and see my inspiration for this page. Love the way the trees turned out, and just the coloring in general. I thought the little path here turned out good. And that might be it. I don't think I colored very much in this one last year, so I'll have to do more this year. All right, the next 3 books are going to be from Coco Wyo, and these have, or some of them have like a black background, and then are just done with like a sketchier style, which gives you a little bit more shading in some of these areas. So that's why I lumped it in with the Greyscale. All right, so this is Mystery Island, and I have this page. So alcohol marker base and color pencil for shading. Really like the color palette of this one. This is kind of a cool book because there is a, let's see, I think there's three little characters here. We have a frog, a chameleon, and an axolotl. The concept of the book, if you wanted to, would be to color the pages, and then you cut out the little frame, and then you put it together almost like a puzzle, I guess, and you get like one giant poster. So that's kind of cool how it can all come together. I don't plan on doing that, but it's a cool concept. Haven't seen that before in a coloring book. All right, and then I think I just have one more in here. This is such a cute book. I need to color more in this one too. All right, here is the little chameleon. He's up here on top of like this part of the house, flying a kite. These mountain shapes kind of reminded me of waves or like water. So I colored those in shades of blue. And then the rest of this was, you know, green. And so I thought the green and the pink would really like stand out. And I pictured like a red kite. So a nice contrasting type of color palette. I believe, yeah, alcohol marker base, color pencil, and then I did use some acrylic paint pens to make these a little bit brighter highlights and just stand out a little bit more. Yep, that is it for that one. All right, and then I have Spooky Town. Again, I really like the concept of how the books are laid out. So with this one, you have a town, spooky town of little characters here, and here's kind of like a family portrait of them. But it takes you through each of their like little houses. Okay, so we have this one. It says welcome. And then the little house blossoms. So this is like the gardener guy. And so you get a few pages of each of the characters. And, you know, it includes like other characters along with that one particular character. Here's this one. It's like you don't know exactly who it is until you get to the next page, and then it shows that character and what her job is. All right, so yeah, again, I think it's just a cool concept. All right, here is the spooky girl, and this one I did in all Crayola products, or I'm sorry, except for the like glitter here and the glaze on top of there. But Crayola marker base and Crayola color pencil for shading. So yeah, just a little bit of like stickles type of accents there on the candy, and then in that skull has some glaze there. Yeah, I mean, I think it turned out pretty good. The color pencils didn't go on quite as nicely on top of like the water-based Crayola marker, but yeah, I don't know if that's just because of the water-based and I was used to using alcohol markers or what, but it still looked nice. All right, and then this one, I love the color palette of this one. I thought his skin tone turned out really nice. Alcohol marker base, color pencil, and some different paint pens. I think I did add some of that glaze in the wine and in his little brooch there. I say wine, but that could totally be something else, like blood. All right, and then this is like the front of his house. All right, and then I did use some like red glitter pens for the sign. I wasn't sure if I'd like these characters with the big eyes, but yeah, I think they're kind of funny. So yeah, great book. All right, right, and then the next one is Spooky Girl. They do have Spooky Boy, and I don't know if there's another one too, but let's see, does it say in the back? No. All right, but yeah, again, kind of cute and funny pages. Let's see. Oh, there's this one. All right, as soon as I saw this picture, I knew I wanted like this blood red moon. So that is what I did. Alcohol marker base, I believe. It looks really waxy, so I'm not sure what I did on top of that. Hold on, let me pause and I'm gonna check my book real quick. Oh yes, okay, so here is my coloring log, and I used alcohol markers, Prismacolors, paint pens, and oil pastel. Okay, so that is why it was looking a little waxy to me, but yeah. So the oil pastel was just going to give it a nice, solid, like intense color, and then sprayed with a fixative. Let's see, it looks like this was me trying to fix some hair. I remember there was a couple of pages on here that I thought I wanted one look, and then as it was coming along I didn't like it, so I would erase it and then try to go on top of it, and it was adding like multiple layers of stuff on it. So I think I finally had fixed it, but yeah, there are definitely some paint pens probably trying to cover up some mistakes there. But yeah, I really like the red and then the pink flowers here. I think that looks cool. And then this one. And then this one. And her hair, I remember lots of mistakes on this one. Yeah, I don't know if I was trying to do black hair first and then I didn't like it, or then red hair, and I don't know. Again, I feel like I tried to do multiple things and it wasn't working out, and then finally settled on this color and just fixed it as best as I could. And yeah, I think it's fine. Okay, that is it for Spooky Girl. All right, the next book is The Cursed Pirate Girl coloring book by Jeremy A. Bastian. This book is based off his graphic novel series, Cursed Pirate Girl. It is definitely a heavier, sketchy style, but the images reminded me of Pirates of the Caribbean, which I love. So some of the images aren't like the best for maybe coloring, but most of them I think will work just fine. They are not single-sided, and all right, so this is the page that I did. Yeah, not single-sided paper. The paper is kind of, I wouldn't say it's a heavy cardstock, more like a light cardstock. So you definitely have to be careful with bleed through on these. And I wanted to do like some distress ink and watercolor in here, but was worried about the bleed through. So the first time I used a gesso product. This is clear gesso, a transparent matte finish. And I just brushed that on, I think with, I think I saw it to use a credit card. So I think I tried a couple different things. A brush, and then like this credit card that you can just make it smooth. Did a couple layers. It does feel almost like a super fine sandpaper, which doesn't bother me because you know, it kind of fits with the vibe of the water and stuff, I guess, like beach sand. And I did have a slight bleed through around here, but that may be because I didn't have a good layer of the gesso in those parts. Hard to tell. All right, but so on this page I did use a lot of Tim Holtz products, some Tim Holtz Distress inks, and a stamp. He's got this big like wave kind of water splash stamp. And then these little water spots were created just from using Distress ink and then spraying some water droplets on there and then removing the excess water. And then I believe I used some Inktense and then color pencils for her. But yeah, really liked this effect, and I'm gonna try to use these products again like throughout the book because I just feel like it fits with the vibe of the book. But yeah, so that is it for my part 6. I believe I'll have 2 more parts, so stay tuned for those. It's been a busy July for me, so hope you all are having a fun summer. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.